The ball joints act as pivot points that allow the front wheels and spindles or knuckles to turn between the upper and lower control arms. Ball joints can be either load-carrying or non-load carrying. The load-carrying joint supports the vehicle weight. The coiled spring is seated on the control arm to which the load-carrying ball joint is attached. For example, if the coil spring is mounted between the lower control arm and the chassis, the lower ball joint is the load-carrying ball joint. On a torsion bar suspension, the load-carrying ball joint is always on the control arm that the torsion bar is attached to. In a load-carrying ball joint, the vehicle weight forces the ball stud into contact with a bearing surface in the joint. The load-carrying joint may be compression-loaded or tension-loaded. If the control arm is mounted above the lower end of the knuckle and rests on the knuckle, the ball joint is compression-loaded. In this type of joint, the vehicle weight is pressing downward on the control arm and squeezes the ball joint together as the load is transferred to the steering knuckle and the wheel and tire. Compression-loaded joints that are mounted in the lower control arms have the ball joint studs facing downward. When the lower control arm is positioned below the steering knuckle, the vehicle weight is pulling the ball joint away from the knuckle. This type of a ball joint mounting is referred to as tension-loaded. Tension-loaded joints that are mounted in the lower control arm have the ball joint stud facing upward. Because the load-carrying ball joints support the vehicle weight, they wear faster than non-loaded carrying joints. Wear indicators, such as the grease fitting, will usually alert you to a load-carrying ball joint that is worn beyond the manufacturer's wear limit. Non-load-carrying ball joints are often referred to as stabilizing or following ball joints. Non-load-carrying ball joints are designed with a preload that provides a damping action for improved steering quality and vehicle stability. Some non-load-carrying ball joints are of a low-friction design that uses highly polished ball socket surfaces and a polymer bearing to further improve steering performance and ball joint life.